My Life with Nina Tame, Part 2.
When we went abroad last year for the first time in my chair, it was kind of fine, but like you just got sort of wheeled into this sort of porter cabin with, just a load of people in wheelchairs. We're all in a porter cabin, and then it raises up and you get in the plane, and it wasn't awful, but you think, wouldn't it be nice to be able to just it just felt like a really weird sort of experience. And then sort of when we landed on the other side, the kind of their sort of access people just sort of pushed you and took you off, and like you didn't know where you were going or anything. I was a bit like, am I getting kidnapped? What's going on? It was just it felt like the bare minimum of kind of access, as opposed to everybody else gets like a level of comfort as well, and style and design with everything, whereas disabled people just get the bare minimum to tick the box to say we're accessible, if they even do that.
Yeah, and I think that is probably the perfect way to explain it, especially with travel. Travel is horrible. Like, I work in tourism, so do a bit with like local travel, like agencies and stuff like that, and it's just they don't know what they're doing. They need to go out and seek like consultancy from people who can advise with them. But you think, why would they? Like, why would they have the motivation to go do that when like giant airlines aren't doing the same thing? Like, they're not catering to our needs at all. I have to get into like this little, I don't know what you've done in the past when you go on planes, but they like make me transfer over into this little like aisle chair thing. And it's like literally just looks like a trolley, but then it has like a back on it, and I sit on it, and then they just like wheel me over to the plane. So I have to do that.
It's awful. Yeah. It's just so. Oh, I don't like it. It just all feels really sort.
I swear they always pick the nicest staff to do it, because they're always so nice, and it's like that somehow in my brain makes me feel like this is less terrible. But then like, you can see all the people also walking up to the plane, and I'm just like in this little like literally like little trolley, and I'm like, I like hold my legs as well because I've got long legs, and they're always so small and skinny, the trolleys. My legs start flopping everywhere, so I'm like holding my legs, like trying not to fall over. Everyone's looking at me like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's fucking awful. It is. It's really.
Where the bags get like a better trolley than I do, probably.
I think they probably do. It's just grim. It's proper fucking grim. People, I don't know. Like I kind of think this all the time. What does it take to kind of make people care enough to do it, to get that access really right?
Well, maybe we'll tag all the airlines in this video. One thing I did want to ask, and we've probably touched on some of this already, but one thing I like to ask everyone is if they can tell me a recent positive experience they've had out in community and a recent negative experience, as long as you're comfortable.
Yeah. I've not had anything overly negative recently. I got referred to just as a wheelchair the other day, which was a little bit sort of jarring.
Like they called you a wheelchair?
Yeah, it was two guys in a big supermarket. They didn't know each other, and they kind of got in each other's way, but the reason they did is because one of them was just awkwardly trying to get out of my way. So when I rolled past, I heard one say to the other, "Oh, sorry about that, it was the wheelchair over there." Or just in this way that wasn't like that woman there, it was just literally calling me a wheelchair, which sort of made me laugh, and also like, well, that no one's called me that before. So that was like a little bit weird.
That is next level. I would have been sorry.
I was and previous to that was in a lift where there was me and my friend and another woman in the lift, and as the woman got out, she looked at my friend and then she sort of gestured to me and went, "Oh, bless." And I was like, what? Why are they all blessing me? So they were a little bit strange. And positive interaction. The access of an event we were going to wasn't written up anywhere. So I caused a bit of a fuss about it on Instagram because I was very stressed and cross. And I had emailed them as well, and they got back to me, and they were really, really nice. And when we kind of got there, they couldn't have been sort of more helpful. And then afterwards, they said that they were going to be changing their access policy going forwards, which I haven't checked up on, which I need to check up on. But that felt like a bit of a sort of a win. And yeah.
Well done. That's awesome.
Yeah. And also, again, like it's like the bar is set so low because I went into the shop and a saleswoman was so nice to me that I bought so much stuff that I shouldn't have bought. But I was classing it as a win because she was just so natural and non-weird with me. But that is
But that's an important thing as well to bring up, because the way that you treat people will affect how they, consume your products or spend your business. So that's probably a very important message for anyone who's a business owner. The way that they treat their customers is so important.
Oh, I can't remember what the actual figure is, but I've seen it in a couple of different things floating around Instagram about the kind of disabled community spending power.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the second or third, I can't remember what it is, but it's like really fucking big. And like when I look at, like, we're in the process of getting a wet room sorted for our downstairs utility room, and we're kind of having it funded by our local council. So everything is like proper medical crap. But actually, when you try and find stuff that isn't, when it comes to disabled products, it's really, really hard. Like, like grab rails in the bathroom, they're always that kind of grey, they look like a medical sort of walking stick type material. They're horrible. And the shower stalls are, it's all just so soulless and not sexy and icky. And it's like there's billions of disabled people who all need accessible equipment in their homes and would like that to be stylish as well, and that shouldn't be sort of too much fucking arse. Like I've got like this sort of bed bar thing to help me get in and out of bed, so again it just looked horrible, and it makes it stick out like this horrible medical thing. So we spray painted it gold, and I don't know why I'm saying I fucking spray painted it gold. No one helped me, did it all by myself. And it looks brilliant. I just want stuff in gold. I just want all my mobility aids, everything in my house, all my adaptive equipment to be gold. That's it.
Amazing.
I feel that's like, not too much to ask for.
No. Well, it shouldn't be. I mean, like you say, the spending power of the disabled community is huge. So it's like, yeah. And I mean, I think we're either the largest or the second largest minority group that exists in the world as well. So it's like, yeah, that's the thing that I try to get across to people as well. When I ask for these things like access and inclusion, or like options with my equipment or stuff like that, or just even representation in like media, because that's obviously what I do a lot, like media and fashion and advertising, not asking them to represent this minute little community, which they should anyway. I'm asking them to represent like almost a fifth of the population. And they're like, that's revolutionary. And I'm like, no, this is common sense. Like, these people are already spending money at your shop. And if you're the one to represent them first, they'll probably not all, but a lot of them will spend at your shop instead of your competitors who aren't being represented.
Well, it just always sort of amazes me still that even in kind of so-called kind of woke circles, that disability is still not on the table, and half the time is still up for grabs when it comes to making shitty jokes and everything else. Yeah,
that's like, there's a lot of activism that exists that is still exclusive of disability. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me, Nina. I have learnt and loved this conversation with you, and I'm sure I'll probably be having lots more conversations with you now. And everyone definitely follow along Nina's Instagram, because like I said, the Bog Troll is quite funny and also has a lot of educational stuff on there. So please check her out. And thank you again for spending your time and, coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
No worries. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for following along. Catch part 1 of another intriguing interview next week.